Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be going over Unreal Engine 5 and working with actors in Unreal Engine. Last stream, I learned how to move my mesh slash my actor inside my Unreal Engine using key controls. Today I'm going to work on that as well. But yesterday, the reason I did end the stream is because I did like run into an error. I think that it said something like main recorder crash or something. But I did fix that. The reason I did actually get that error is because let's go to my gameplay screen. Okay, yo, Vivek, hiding. Walq, is that your peninsula name? Hiding Himanshu, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, that's last stream. Yeah, I did get an error here. Is probably because inside of my boss actors C++ file, I added this block of code where I changed my player's location under my constructor instead of inside of my begin play. That said, let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Okay, let's say something like, let's say I'm live exclamation. Okay, and today I'm going to be working over, firstly, I'm going to be reviewing some automating actually not automating, moving my mesh using key controls, and then I'll work on something else as well. Let's see. Okay, Sensei's here is eyes forward, back straight, let's go. Welcome back, viewers. This is what real learning looks like. Not magic, not talent. Struggle, confusion, click. You just heard the click, good. Now, about the problem you're seeing, and yes, that's a real Unreal Engine problem, not being done. Oh, guys, I forgot to say something that I fixed the problem. Hold up. Let me say something like, let's say I forgot to tell you that I fixed the problem. Okay, all I had to do was hit Control-Shift-B and like rebuild my solution type stuff. Did you fix memory leak issue? Honestly, I did. That was like, honestly, that was a kind of a silly mistake because I added my enable input and my input component under my constructor, but it should have started inside my begin play. And the reason when I even started Unreal, it wasn't working is because I did not rebuild my solution, so I had to hit Control Alt and then B to rebuild my solution. That's let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Before that, let me actually get my Visual Studio here. I actually have Visual Studio, my Unreal Engine here, and maybe just decrease the size a bit so you guys can see my entire window. There we go. Let's go ahead and increase it from here. Whoops. Okay, because I want to show you guys what this actually does. Let's go ahead and extend that, decrease it from here. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the code, let's see what happens. Okay, how are you, Vivek? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? Well, Q, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Now, if I were to hit something like S, I'd go back. Actually, I come in front. Whoops, there we go. If I were to hit W, I go in front. If I were to hit S, I come backwards. If I were to hit A, I go towards the left. If I were to hit D, I go towards the right. I'm thinking that I might work with camera as well. I might save camera for next stream as well either, because I thought I was going to work with cameras today, but I forgot to change my thumbnail, guys. Okay, that's it. Let me actually get some /ChatGPT up here. That's it. I do want to like review the code where I automate my actor type stuff. That's it. Let me say something like, okay, let's say I want to work on I started automating on moving my actor with key controls for a few minutes, and then we could go over camera. Okay, I'm good. Just thinking about what can I go next. Ooh, that sounds kind of cool, guys. I keep thinking that every single time, but then I don't get ideas. Okay, that's a step one. Understanding. Okay, so I think that I did get some practice last stream. I just gotta like, I'm just confused with like a few function names here. So I'm gonna be reading this code first, and I'm gonna try writing it on my own. So firstly, I did create inside my begin player. So inside my begin play method, I created two methods: a move forward method and a move backwards method, which requires a parameter of void. Then in my C++ file, under my begin play, I go ahead and enable my input, and that requires a parameter of my get. When I get access to my game world, then I use the get first player controller function. This, I'm assuming, actually lets Unreal see what buttons I'm clicking on my Visual Studio, actually on my keyboard type stuff. That's it. Then I had an input component for my move forwards and an input component that binds my access for my move rights. Okay, and then inside my after I'm done adding my input components, I create two functions. The first function is going to be for move forward. The second function is going to be for move backwards. Okay, I think I see. Let's go ahead and delete this part real quick. Okay, that accent is Pure Yates. Guys, Pure Yates is kind of crazy. Although, what does Pure Yates actually mean? Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and remove this real quick. So, hold up, guys. Let me actually mute myself real quick. Already mic testing. Okay, bye, guys. I just had to like get rid of something. There we go. Okay, now let me go ahead and remove the 2 blocks of code from my header files as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. Okay, now let me firstly start off. Let me pretend that this is like, because this is the code template that we get once we actually create an actor type stuff. Now the first thing that I gotta do is under my whatchamacallit, under my begin play in my header files, I want to go ahead and create a void method. What up, guys? Why do I see a bunch of red underlines? Okay, let me just go ahead and delete this. There we go. Okay, now firstly, why do I see a bunch of red underlines? What up, guys? It says 0 derived blueprint classes. What does that mean? Okay, that is main API. Guys, is that just some of the Unreal's weight? Okay, why do I see red underlines here? What up, guys? There we go. Okay, I don't think I deleted something important. Okay, let's see. Maybe I go ahead and exit the 2 of these. Let's hit something like don't save and don't save. Now, if I open my Unreal, alright, guys, there we go. And Visual Studio as well. Okay, guys, I think I opened Discord by mistake. Let's go ahead and exit that. There we go. Let's open my Visual Studio. And then let's get my Unreal here. Now, from my Unreal, I'm gonna go ahead and open this part. That is the header files. Let's exit that. Let's close that. I'm pretty sure this is how we get our source code. Open actor reference in viewer, framework. Okay, maybe since I can't actually get my actor here, I'm gonna go ahead and delete my actor from here. Let's create a brand new actor, but I do want to open my Visual Studio. Maybe I'll open it later. Okay, that's it. Now to create an actor, I'm gonna go to my tools, go to something like new class. I want to go ahead and create a new class. Let's say I want to create a actor class, then I'm gonna hit something like next. I'm gonna call my actor something like boss actor. Let's go with something like boss actor. And then the name boss actor has already been used. Okay, in that case, let's go ahead and exit this. Open my content drawer. Let's see, so inside my C classes. So there we go, I have a boss actor. Okay, let me go ahead and place my actor here. Now, let me get my outliner up here. I'm assuming I gotta go to my windows and my details tab here. So in my details tab, I want to set a mesh that is going to be representing my actor. That's going to be seen in place of my actor. That makes any sense, guys? Now for my mesh, let's see, under my details browser, I'm gonna go ahead and click add here, and then let's go with something like static mesh. I'm gonna go ahead and add a static mesh. This is gonna be my, let's say something like content, my boss's mesh. Okay. Alright, guys, I forgot. I think I added my boss's mesh wrong. Let's go to content. There's my boss's mesh. Okay, wait. I think that's the. Okay, that is the correct way to do this. Okay, perfect. Oh wait, now mind. This is boss actor. Let's get my boss's actor inside my boss's mesh. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that if I go to static mesh, I can go ahead and add my boss's mesh up here. Okay, perfect. Now I just go ahead and remove my boss mesh from here. Okay, there we go. Now this is my actor / my mesh at the same time. I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. Now let's open this in Visual Studio, the source code, so I can actually add the automation. Okay, your consistency is inspiring, but don't you have school? Honestly, I am like a freshman in college. That said, I don't have college right now because I am on my breaks right now. Like, it is like my winter break because of December. Okay, why don't I see my C++ file? Guys, did I like mess something up here? Okay, is there a way to actually get my C++ file? Maybe what if I were to right click up here? Let's go with something like C++ or maybe CPP. Because if this doesn't work, I might actually go ahead and create a new actor class because I did like delete the C++ file by mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Let's go to tools. Let's create a new class. It's going to be an actor class. I'm going to call it something like mage. Okay, let's go with something like, but I don't have a mage. I might go with something like boss. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a class. Now that I've created a class, I'm going to be adding a static mesh to it. Guys, I gotta go ahead and create like more meshes and like Blender type stuff. That's it. Let's see. So I get this window here. It says main live coding. It's going to be patching my code up right now. Okay, let's see. So it says succeeded in 7 seconds. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done with that and I actually created my, let's see, my class here. So inside my main, I have a bosses class. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag that up here. Now, I'm assuming I right click this. Actually, instead of right click, I'm gonna go to my details tab. There we go. Now, let's add a static mesh. So I'm gonna go ahead and type something like static. Okay, now for my static mesh, let's go ahead and add my bosses mesh up here. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this in whatchamacallit, in VS Code. Okay, let's go ahead and reload all. Now I should be seeing a header file too. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I see boss.cpp and boss.header files. Although here's the thing, why do I see red underlines here? Is it just like Unreal Engine that's just giving me the red underlines for some reason? Okay, because these underlines should not be here. Okay, to try this out, let's go here. Let's hit Control Alt F11 to patch my code, and then I'm going to try running my file type stuff. Okay, let's see. Once I'm done patching my code, okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and run my program. Okay, there we go. What up, guys? Let's see. Okay, I don't think anything is wrong in my code in that case, because everything actually feels pretty correct. There we go. Okay, let's hit escape to exit. Alright guys, I think like everything is correct. The only thing... Whoops, hold up guys, let me go ahead and get my actor a bit up because I think he's kind of underground. There we go. Okay, now, once I'm done with this, I think I'm just going to be... There we go, it's all gone. I think like it's just Unreal saying like, I don't know, why was it showing all this red underline? That's it. Now let's go ahead and automate my actor to automate my actor. Firstly, I want to go ahead and check something. If I were to go to my... let's see, I forgot where was that. In my project settings. Okay, in my project settings, if I were to find something like input, I have my input set. Okay, I was just confirming if I had it set or not. Okay, if I have my input set, I'm going to start off by creating two methods. The first method is going to be a void method called something like move forward. I'm going to go with something like forward. Okay, my move forwards method does require parameter of a floating point of value. So a value with a pair of parentheses. And guys, the move forward method needs to be exactly the same as what I just showed you guys in my input place in my project settings. Okay, next I'm going to go with another void method. This is going to be called something like a move right. I'm going to move towards the right. This method does require floating point parameter of value as well, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now that I'm done adding the two methods here, let's go to my boss.c++ file. In my boss.cpp file, I have, let's see, I have a constructor here that I don't think I'll be adding anything much inside of it. Although I have a begin play method. This is going to start when my game actually executes. So I'm going to go ahead and add something here. Firstly, I want to enable my input because even though my Unreal Engine sees that I'm actually typing input, my actor class does not. So I got to tell my actor class or give it years type stuff. Let's say something like enable input. Okay, this makes my actor class actually know that my input is enabled. There we go. I think I had a typo there. Okay, so after I'm done enabling my input, I'm gonna go ahead and get access to my world. So I'm gonna go with something like get world, which is gonna be pointing towards the player first controller. Was it something like that? No need to same as your input settings. No need to same as your input settings name. Though I suggest a function, you'll bind it at... Oh, I see. Okay, I thought there was compulsory to add like whatchamacallit, the same name as my input settings. Okay, so I forgot what method comes here, what word comes here. Was it something like... So let's go with something like the, and then... Guys, I don't think my IntelliSense is working. Okay, when I get my world, I want it to be pointing towards something. Get world is a function. And then I point it towards, let's see, so I'm gonna go with something like get first player controller. There we go. Guys, I keep forgetting this function. I'm so glad IntelliSense exists. There we go. I'm going to use my get first player this function. Okay, perfect. Then I go ahead and end my enable inputs this function with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, I gotta go ahead and create a few input components because actor is basically whatchamacallit, like a body, and components are like organs that makes the body actually move type stuff. So I'm gonna go with something like input component. So there we go. Okay, perfect. Now my input component is going to be having a parameter of bind access. So I'm going to go with something like input component bind access. Okay, which is going to be pointing towards, wait, I don't think my input component is going to be a function. I'm going to be binding my access. My bind access will be a function. Now I'm going to be requiring a few parameters. The first parameter is going to be the name of my input, which is going to be something like move forward. Okay, and then the second is going to be what do I want to actually move forward. I want to move my object forward, so I could go with something like this because this class is my objects class or my actors class. Okay, what are your future dream? Honestly, eventually I do want to be like an AI engineer and like build robots and chatbots and all that stuff. But for the time being, I do want to like make a game that consists of AI logic in it. I found something I can code, but it's going to take probably multiple days, and it's my own programming language. That sounds so cool. My programming language would probably be easier than Python, so like English language, all that actually sounds really cool. Okay, kinda excited to see that. Okay, next up, once I'm done with adding my two parameters, the third parameter is going to be my method, which is going to be, let's say something like my move forwards method. So I'm firstly going to go with something like a boss. This is, whatchamacallit, this is my class's name. Then my abus is going to be having a scope resolutions as operator. Then I use my move forwards method. Okay, perfect. With a parentheses. And then I add my function with a semicolon. Okay, I don't think the move forwards method needs a... Okay, maybe I don't add any parentheses here. Okay, perfect. Okay, once I'm done with that input component, I'm going to go ahead and add another input component. So I might go with something like input component. There we go. Now I'm going to be binding something to my input components. I'm going to go with something like bind access. What about entrepreneurship? You're not interested in it? Honestly, I haven't like thought about it. Like I haven't like I do know what entrepreneur is. It's like are they those people that like talk a lot or like try selling stuff or something? Guys, I need to actually fact check myself on that. Let me actually check. So what does entrepreneur mean? Let's see. Okay, a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taken on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. I see. A promoter in entertainment industry. I see. Okay, honestly, I don't think I want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to like whatchamacallit, make AIs and like robots and all that stuff. I don't know. It depends, guys. I might actually, because for the time being, I am like exploring different kind of things. Later on, eventually, when I do like something, I'm gonna be sticking to that. So I could I could be liking software development for all I know, guys. It sounds kind of cool though. That's it. Let's go with something like a move rights method, ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done adding both my input components, I'm going to go ahead and let's say create two functions. So I'm going to firstly create a function for my player to move towards the left and right. And the next function is going to move forwards and backwards. Okay, also you need to point the address of the function you're binding. Oh, guys, I actually forgot this part. There we go. Okay, so I got to give the address of operator, or we actually run into the main... What was that error? I forgot the error name. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and create a void method. My method is going to be from my abosses class. Okay, I'm going to use a scope resolution operator. Let's call this method something like move forward. So I'm going to go with something like a move forwards method with a pair of parentheses. Now, my move forwards method is going to be having a parameter. What up, guys? So there we go. Okay, a person who owns a business. In simple words, that actually does sound kind of cool, but I feel like, I mean, it depends in case I liked it. Have you even tried VLang already? Not GoLang. Honestly, many of you guys did actually talk to me about that, but I didn't have time to actually try that. Like, what's it used for? Okay, my move forwards method is going to be requiring, let's say, something like a floating point parameter of value. Then I go with a pair of curly braces. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do something inside my move forwards method. Firstly, I want to add a if statement to check if my value is not 0, because if it's 0, that means I'm not pressing W, S, A, or D type stuff. So I want to only run the code or move my player when my value is not 0. So I'm going to check something like if not value equals to .of. The reason I went with like .of is like when we go and we go with access mapping and move my player using key controls, it returns a floating point value. That's the reason I didn't go with like an integer here. Okay, so if not value equals to 0, then I'm going to do something. firstly, I want to get the location of my player. Which way is he facing? So I'm going to use the F vector. So let's go ahead and use the F vector, which is going to be having a delta directions local variable representing it. But I might actually just shorten the name to be direction. There we go. Now, once I get my direction, did I spell it correct? There we go. Now, once I get my direction, I'm gonna go ahead and set this equal to... I forgot the function name, guys. Okay, yeah, it's really cool how you're so consistent. Honestly, that does sound kind of cool. Okay, you seem very good at learning stuff fast. So, honestly, guys, I feel like I take real long to learn stuff. Your consistency is inspiring. Honestly, I just have to see if you'll be consistent. Guys, that actually means the world to me. Okay, that's it. Now, let's go with control space, because I actually forgot the function name. I'm pretty sure the function was something like get. Okay, get actor data layers to... Okay, let's see. So, guys, I remember the function name was something like get location. Let's go with something like get actor forward vector. There we go. Okay, get actor forward vector. This is where the player is going to be facing. These function names are kind of hard to memorize. That's why I got to use into lessons. But I think I'll remember this now. So get actor forward vector. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and let's say use another function. The next function is going to be called something like set player offset. It was something like set player offset to hold up, guys, let me check. Okay, so it's something like set actor location, set actor. Okay, was it something like set vector? Hold up, guys, I forgot what was this function called. I remember it was something with set, so it's something like set vector. Okay, so set vector. Okay, it's none of these, honestly. Guys, I might have to like look this part up. So let's see. Okay, there are a lot of sets here. It was something with offset. I remember the function has something like offset to it. It's something like set actor offset, set actor offset. Okay, I don't think this will be function name though. Okay, so set actor location and rotation, set actor location. No, it wasn't the set actor location. Okay, maybe what if I were to go ahead and give some /TP up here? Okay, I just forgot the function name. I just want to like see the function name real quick. If I were to scroll all the way up here. Okay, under the input components. What up, guys? Let's go all the way down here to... Okay, let's scroll a bit up. I'm trying to see the function name because the function names are the only thing that gets me because it's like really, really big. Okay, I think I could find it here. So, let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. So it's add actor world offset. Okay, the add actor world offsets is function. I gotta maybe write it down or something. Let's go with something like add actor to my worlds as offset. So I'm gonna go with something like world offset. Okay, perfect. Then I go with the parentheses. Now my add actor world offset does require a parameter of delta location, which in this case is my F vector up here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my directions as local variable, and then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by my value, and I'm going to multiply those things as well with something like, I don't know, maybe 600 centimeters for I think it's 600 centimeters per frame or something. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by the current time, which is going to eventually have an independent I forgot it, like an FPS type stuff. Guys, I'm really bad at phrasing this part for the time being. So I'm gonna firstly go with something like get world. I get access to my game world, and then I'm gonna go ahead and point towards, let's say something like delta time seconds. So I gotta go ahead and go with something like delta time seconds. Let's go with something like delta time seconds. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty much it. Then I end this with a semicolon. Okay, so basically what I did here is I multiplied my direction, which way my player is facing, by my value. If I either click W or S, W is forward -1 and S is +1. So if I hit S, it's going to multiply 600 by -1, which is going to be -600. I move backwards. If it's W, I multiply my 600 by +1. I move forward +1. And the get world delta time second is just like FPS, so I add FPS by doing this. Okay, once I'm done with that, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and create another function now. My next function is gonna be for let's say moving left and right. So I'm gonna go with something like a boss. This is my class, which is gonna be having a I forgot what's this called again, the scope resolution operator. Then I go with something like move right. Okay, this is my classes. This is going to be my function's name. My function does require a parameter of a value. There we go. Now I go with the prof curly braces. Now inside my function, I'm gonna go ahead and add a if statement to check if my value is not 0, which means either my user is pressing A or D. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a if statement to check something like if not a value. So there we go. If my value is not something like 0.0f, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Okay, but I feel there's like, I think that I added 2 if statements here by mistake, guys. Let's go ahead and remove this inner if statement and a prof parentheses from there. Okay, then I go with a prof curly braces. Now, if my user is clicking something, I'm firstly gonna get the direction which way my actor is facing. So I'm gonna go with something like f vector and create a directions as local variable representing it. That is going to be equal to get actor forward vector function. Okay, let's go with something like get actor forward vector with a prof parentheses ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done getting my actors as forward location, I'm going to use the add actor world offsets as function. This function adds my actor to my worlds as offset. So I'm going to go with something like add actor world offset. Okay, with a prof parentheses. Now, my add actor world offset is going to be requiring a parameter of my direction of my Boolean sweep. Okay, I see a Boolean sweep. So honestly, I feel like once I'm done adding my delta seconds, I gotta go with something like true as well. And in case you guys can't see it, let me actually go all the way here. There we go. Okay, so I added a true here, honestly. Okay, because I forgot we needed something like a true as well. Now, I'm gonna do the exact same thing down here. So I'm gonna go with something like my directions as local variable. I'm going to multiply that by my value, either positive location, either positive velocity, either negative velocity. Then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that with something like 600.0 f, which is like 600 centimeters per frame. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by my get worlds function. I get access to my world, which is going to be pointing towards what up, guys? Before I go with get world, I think I like to move to prof parentheses. Let's go with something like get world okay, with a prof parentheses. And then I'm going to go with something like a pointing towards or a arrow mark operator. Let's say something like delta time seconds. Okay, so I add FPS as well. And then I'm going to go with something like a comma. Okay, let's go with a comma. And now I'm going to set my B sweep to be something like true. Oh, I'm trying to see how those make sense, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Alright, I want to see the other parameters too. I have a F hit result. Okay, null PDR, E teleport type. I did not add most of these parameters here. Okay, actually I'm trying to see how this works. That said, now if I did Control F to save the code, go to my header files, save the code as well, and then open my Unreal Engine here. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11 to patch my code up. Let's go ahead and wait for it to patch. I think the patching takes like a few seconds type stuff. Storage capacity is 40 GBs. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, now once my patching is successful, I'm going to go ahead and open my Unreal Engine up here. Let's run my code. I should be able to get my player back. So there we go. Okay, guys, it was like right in my face. So I can get my mesh forwards, backwards, left, and okay, I can go left and right. I gotta fix that real quick. For going left and right, I'm assuming that I gotta go ahead and change to, let's see. Okay, I have input component. Move right, I go ahead and move right. Okay, this is delta time. Okay, I went with get actor forward vector. I gotta go with get actor right vector. There we go, because my move is my mesh is gonna either go left, right, front, or back. So I have forward here and this is right. Now let's hit Control S to save the code, open my Unreal Engine again, go with Control Alt F11. Okay, this is going to be patching my code up. Okay, successfully patched. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the code, let's see what happens. I can go backwards. What up, guys? There we go. Okay, I can go backwards, I can come forwards, I can go towards the left and towards the right. Okay, perfect. Now I want to go ahead and add a camera. I mean, even though I did not actually like memorize this function right here, so get actor right vector, that's easy, but get actor world offset, I think that's the only thing that I didn't know. But I mean, I feel like that wouldn't be as big of a deal because like all I gotta do is write more code to actually practice that part. That's it. Let me say something like, so say I've written a code that moves my mesh using key controls without any reference, so I feel like I'm good with it now! Exclamation. That said, can we learn on how to add a camera now? Question mark. Because let's say something like, because I feel like even though I move my actor, I can't move myself. I can't move myself. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's it. Good. That's it with progress. Don't get comfortable. You did. What up, guys? So there we go. Okay, good. That's real progress. You didn't get comfortable. You did the hard part. You made an actor move without reference. That means you understand transform, but transform input and intent. Most people fake this part. You didn't. Now, yes, camera time. And this is where most people get lost. So, yes, open. First, you can move, but you can't move yourself right now. Your actor moves, the viewpoint does not. Why? Because cameras do not automatically flow actor. Unreal does not assume that you want. The engine is powerful, not physics. You must attach a camera and tell it who to follow. The correct mental model log this in. Think like this, the player does not move. Hiding Adrian, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, the camera does not move, only actors move. Camera attached to actors, camera eyes, actor body. No body, eyes float in the void. Moves body, eyes must be bloated too. Step 1. Components, you will need to add, not code yet, just concept. You will need to add 2 components to your actor, a spring arm. Okay, I've honestly never, I think I've just heard the word spring arm. I've never like used it. Purpose, distance plus smoothing. Prevents camera clipping through walls. Think of it as a selfie stick with physics awareness. Camera purpose, the actual viewpoint must be attached to the spring arm. Order matters. So actor is my root, and root is basically what actually makes it visible when our player moves type stuff. Spring arm and camera. Oh, I see. So I think it's something like in real life where there's like a camera stuck in my player's head or something. Okay, if you attach camera directly to root, you feel sick when it moves. I see. Step 2. Why spring arm exists? This is important. Spring arm maintains distance. Smooth flow rotation automatically shortens when hitting walls. Saves you from writing 200 lines of code. No spring arm equals jitter plus clipping plus pain. Step 3. Who controls the camera rotation? This is the big confusion point. You have 2 options. We start simple. Option A, camera flows actor rotation. Camera rotates when actor rotates. I think I see. So this is option A. Camera follows actor rotation. I think I want to do that. Good for simple third person on top down. I want to go with third person. Camera uses controller rotation later. Mouse controls camera independently. This is where it starts feeling like a real game. We start option A, crawl, walk, then run. Step 4, you will do it next, no skipping. Your task, add spring arm component, attach it to the root, add camera. Okay guys, I feel like that was kind of easier said than done. Okay, that said, a stream quote by Bruce Lee, guys. If you guys didn't, I was like a really big Bruce Lee fan. Okay, I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks once, but a man that has practiced one kick 10,000 times, guys. That actually sounds kind of cool. That said, let me say something like, let's say I feel like, let's go with something like, I feel like, even though I understood, okay, even though I, what up guys, let's go with something like, even though I understood it in theory, I did not understand I don't understand how to do it. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Let me actually mute myself real quick. So, okay, honestly, what up, guys? Already mic testing, guys. I had to just get something turbo quick. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let's see. Good. That's the exact moment learning happens when theory falls apart. Your brain goes, because I understand what sensei means. I don't know how to do it in actual Visual Studio. Sit focus. We're going slow and physical, not abstract. Reset the scene. What you have right now, reset it. You have C++ actor, a mesh inside it movement, where camera does not. That means one thing, your actor has no camera component attached. Unreal is still using default editor camera. That camera does not care about your actor. Okay. Step 1, open the right place. Okay, so open Unreal Engine, go to Outliner, click your actor instance in the level. Now look at the details panel. This panel is not for code, this panel is for components. If you don't see components at the top, you click the wrong thing, try again. Okay, let's actually try that. Let's open my Unreal Engine up here. Whoops, hold up guys, there we go. Okay, so I gotta go ahead and open my outliner. So, okay, so this is my outliner type stuff. And then in my outliner, what was it that I had to click? I had to go ahead and click on my actor instance. Okay, what is actor instance? Let me get my details a bit lower. So, okay, so actor instance. So this is my boss's actor. I'm assuming that's my actor. Okay, and then my instance. So adds new component. Okay, how do I add a instance here? I have advanced. I see ignores the original shifting. Maybe I get sensei slash chat GPT back up here. Let's say something like, let's say for step 1, how do I add a instance? I see my outliner, but I don't see a instance. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going in the wrong place. Am I going in the wrong place? Stop, good catch. This is not a mistake. This is a missing concept, and if you don't fix it, nothing else makes sense. Lock in, I'm going to make this click. What an instance actually is, in plain English, your C++ actor is a blueprint slash recipe. It does not exist in the level until you place it. Unreal will not magically spawn it for you. So right now your code exists, your actor does not exist in the level. That's why outliner shows nothing. No instance equals to nothing to attach a camera. No instance equals nothing to process. Unreal, go to level viewport, open outliner. You already did this. Now option A, fastest to do. Open content drawer, go to content C/C++, your project name, find boss, drag boss actor into the level. Boom, that's an instance. Oh wait, I already see that in that case. Doesn't it say boss instance? Honestly, it does say boss. Is this considered instance? I did not know this was instance. Okay, I think that this is instance, guys. Okay, that's it. Let's get sensei slash chat GPT up here. So, okay, that is the thing where we attach cameras. If you don't see it, very common. Okay, verify you did it. Okay, details panel. Okay, open boss actor in the level. You should see details panel. At the top, you should see components. If you don't see components, okay, now everything makes sense. Okay, so let's actually go to my details panel. Below that, I see floor below that. Oh, I see boss instance. There we go. Okay, where's components here? Add new components to this actor. Okay, I see. Guys, I think I should work on my seeing stuff. Convert this into blueprint class. There's a details heading. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. I see instance here. Okay, let me get some slash chat GPT back here. Let's see something like, I see, let's say, I've always had it. I just didn't know that that was called instance. I am in my details section now. What should I do next? Question mark. Okay, let's see, because I have watched like people talk about Spring On, but I've never like actually tried that. Okay, good. Now we're talking. You had the power the whole time. You just didn't know the name. That's how game humbles people. You're in detail. That means the actor exists. It's real, and we can wire a camera to it. Focus, no rushing. This is a foundation moment. what we're about to build, mental model, you will not slap a camera directly to the actor like a caveman. Unreal uses two camera systems: spring arm, the camera holder, distance, smoothing, rotation, the actual eye. Okay, camera, the actual eye. Think actor body, spring arm, neck, camera, eyeball. I see. Okay, step one, add a spring arm. Do this now. So I gotta go ahead and add a neck in details panel, find components, click add, check for spring arm, click it, boss actor, spring arm. If you don't see it, if you don't see that hierarchy, you stop. Okay, stop, you misclicked. Okay, I see. Hold up, guys. And then once I'm done with that, click spring. Okay, configure the spring arm. Click the spring arm component in details. Enable use spawn control rotation. Turn this off for now. Set arm length to be 300. Try 300. Enable do collision test. Default on. Okay, let's try that first. Let me go ahead and open my Unreal Engine up here. Now, in my Unreal Engine, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's go ahead and add a stuff here. I'm gonna go with something like spring arm. Oh, I do see spring arm. Okay, so I created a spring arm. Hi, Nick Silly, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Next up. So, let's see. I see a spring arm. I think I'm going to be naming it as a spring arm. Let's get Sensei/ChatGPT up here now. I'm going to go ahead and do something. Add the camera. So, I got to go ahead and add the camera. Click spring arm. Click add. Search for camera. Add it. Okay, let's check that real quick. So, click spring arm. Can I go with something like add? Is there an add option here, guys, or am I still not seeing stuff? What up, guys? Where's add? Click spring arm. Go with add. Go with something like what did I have to search? Go with camera. So let's go with something like camera. There is camera. Okay, perfect. By the way, I just have a suggestion. You should maybe try prompt engineering if you haven't done that yet. Since you want to do AI engineering, making chatbots, etc. Also, I installed everything to take my programming language. Gonna code now while watching you. That actually sounds real good. Let me know how it goes. Well, I might actually check that after the stream as well. Okay, maybe the top ad. Honestly, that does make sense. There we go. I got a tiny camera here. Guys, this is finally starting to make sense. It's getting what should we call it? It becomes so much fun. Like, it gets so much fun once you actually know what you're doing type stuff. Like, for the past 3 days, I didn't even know what I was like completely doing type stuff. Step 4, test the view. Important. Press play. What should happen? The camera appears. You see the world, but you might not be controlling it yet. Okay, let's try that. Let's hit Control Alt F11. So there we go. Let's patch my code up real quick. There we go. Successfully patched. Now if I were to go ahead and run the code, let's see what happens. Whoops. Let's get that back here. Let's click something like S. Whoops, maybe W. Okay, what am I expecting to see? Do I see a camera somewhere? Okay. I mean, don't I see a camera or anything? Let's hit something like escape. Okay, I mean, I see a camera here, so I'm positive it's correct type stuff. Let's exit that, get Sensei/ChatGPT up here. So there we go. Okay, perfect. Now, let me say something like, let's say I added a camera. I see a tiny camera in my Unreal Engine. In my Unreal Engine's window, but I don't see it once I run the game. Okay, let's see. Okay, stop, please look at me. This is not a camera bug. This is an ownership problem. And yes, that's a very common trap. You did half of it right. This engine is doing exactly what you told it to do. Why you see the camera in the edit, okay, in the editor, but not in the play. The tiny thing, this actor has a camera, but when you press play, Unreal asks, which camera should I use? And right now, Unreal answers not yours, so it uses the default Spectre camera floating somewhere useless. The core rule, burn this in your brain. A camera does nothing unless a player controls it. Okay, unless a player controller is told to use it. Actors do not automatically control the view, only pawn possessions are set view. Target does fix option fast. Correct. Do this for step 1. Click your actor instance, not in the class. Okay, the thing sitting on the level outliner. Click boss actor. Step 2, details of panel. Search auto possess player. Set it to 0. Okay, when... Oh wait, hold up, guys. I think it was my bad. Maybe because I forgot to add a few changes to that. Because it says to use pawn control rotation, set target arm length, pawn control location, and set target arm length. What up, guys? Let's go all the way up here to my camera. Okay, so target arm length to 300, and then do collision test. Okay, where's the rotation stuff? Bro, you give me a headache? Guys, give me a headache. It's kind of crazy. I mean, that does make sense. I should try talking a bit slower. Hold up, guys. Okay, wait. Let me get Sensei slash chat GP up here again. Set target arm length to 300. Use pawn control rotation. Turn this off for now. Pawn control rotation. Pawn control rotation. Do you guys see pawn control rotation anywhere up here? Okay, pawn control location, set that off. That is set to be off. And then, okay, I mean, I think all these settings are already done. So let's scroll all the way down here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's see. Oh, we gotta do something in the code, guys. I think the interesting part here. Okay, there we go. Actualize the camera should use, not use. The core rule, burn this in your brain. A camera does nothing unless a player controller is told to. Actors do not automatically control the view, only pawn possession or set view target does. Fixed option, step 1, click your actor instance. Okay, details panel, search auto. So in my details panel, I gotta search auto. Auto possess players. Set it to player 0. This test Unreal. Hey, when the game starts, this is the player. Press play. If this first camera activates, you see through it movement plus camera fire. If it still doesn't work, actor limitation. Okay, let's try it. So I gotta find auto in my Unreal Engine. The problem is your player's start is adding a pawn to your pawn for your control. I see. Honestly, what does that mean though? So in my controllers tab, I'm assuming in my camera, I search for auto. Okay, do I see auto? I see auto activate. Was I going for auto activate, guys? Hold up. Auto possess player. Find auto possess player. Okay, so I gotta go to my boss actor. Okay, so it's boss actor, not my camera. So I gotta go to my boss's instance. Search auto there. So let's go ahead. Delete this from here. Okay, let's go in something like general. Let's go with something like auto. Okay, I don't see anything like auto to player 0. I mean, since it did say me to set player to be 0, but I don't see auto possess player. Okay, let's see auto possess player. Find auto possess player. Set it to player 0. Let me say something like, let's say I did not. Let's go with something like I did not find auto possess player, but I did set my, okay, what did I set? So let's see, so what did I set to be 0? I set in my auto receive input to be player 0. Okay, let's say I set my auto receive player to be player 0. Okay, let's see. Now, good, you did it. You did not mess up. You just ran into Unreal's most confusing naming sin. Take a breath, I've got you. Auto receive input, not camera control. This is the key thing you're missing. Auto receive input player 0 means this actor can be keyboard input. That's why WASD works. Your actor moves, but it does not mean the camera moves. Why your camera still doesn't show in play right now, your Unreal is doing this. Actor exists, your camera component exists, your actor receives input. Okay, which camera should I look through? Okay, I see. What we do, clean and correct. Option 1, fix for learning. We manually tell the player controller to use cameras. So in begin, okay, I go ahead and use the a player controllers is, I'm assuming class. Actually structure, which is going to be represented by a pointer of my PC. I use the get world, get first player controllers as function. If PC is set to true, PC set view target this. This says, hey player controller, look through me. if your actor has a camera component, Unreal uses. This works but is manual. The railway recommended we convert your class to pawn. This is not scary. This is Unreal's intended design. So we include game framework slash pawn. Okay, change one line. Class main underscore API. Okay, public a pawn. Then compile, reopen Unreal. Now you'll see auto possess player. Set it to 0. Okay, I might try this. Okay, your player start is adding a pawn to your control. Quick update, my language can print stuff now, but not using input, but using P. So basically, P7 prints 7. Oh, so P is like a prefix. And math is also implemented right now. That actually sounds really cool. Okay, that's let's see. So I might actually try to change my this one line here, or do they recommend it? Wait. So let's see. Auto possess player. Okay, so I might open Unreal real quick. Let's go ahead and exit this part. I'm gonna go ahead and set this back to be disabled. Now let's go ahead and exit that. Okay, perfect. Now is there something that I want to do? Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal under my boss's header files right here. Okay, let me get some slash chat GPT up here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna be including game framework slash pawn says header file. Okay, so include game framework slash pawn.h. So I'm assuming this goes before my generated h. So I'm gonna go with something like hashtag include game framework. Okay, slash pawn.h, which is my game's framework and my pawn's header files. Okay, here's the thing. Is the framework spelling correct? Framework, the W should be lowercase. There we go. Okay, once I'm done with that, let's see. Okay, in my header file, I gotta go with a class main underscore API boss that inherits all the public content from my a pawn. So I gotta inherit all my public content from my a pawn. There we go. And then I generated body. Now, if I were to hit something like Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code, get my Unreal Engine here, I gotta go ahead and restart my Unreal Engine. Guys, is there a way to save this stuff? Is it gonna autosave? Okay, save selected. I wanna save everything. Now, let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine real quick. In the meanwhile, I might drink some water, guys. My Unreal Engine is opening right here. Okay, let's see. Let's go to something like my projects. I want to go ahead and open my main project. Okay, my Unreal is opening again. Let's see. Now, I feel like, this honestly might work, but I gotta ask, like, why did I have to, like, inherit from a pawn? Because I do know pawn is, like, the brains and all that stuff. That shit, let's get my Unreal Engine up here. There we go. Let's go ahead and extend this from here. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go ahead. Instead of going with a new level in my content drawer, I could go under my content and just open my map here. Do I see my... Where's my boss's object, guys? This is why I don't like closing my Unreal Engine. Is this what happens with you guys as well? Like, if you just close your Unreal Engine, you lose all your settings and all that stuff. Maybe I go ahead and open my content drawer. Here, let's go to C++ classes. In my main, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my boss actor. Isn't my boss saved up here? I just get my boss actor's header files. Hold on, guys. Where's my boss? I just see my boss actor. There should be another class here if I'm not wrong, guys. Okay, so this is content C/C++. This is my map. Is there a different way to save this stuff or something? I want to open it to map, save stuff, to save selected. Alright, guys. Why do I just see my boss actors class here? Wait, let me ask sensei/chat-GPT that is there a different way to save stuff here? Okay, let me say something like, let's say I closed my Unreal Engine and opened it again after adding the change, but I have a quick question. So I don't see my boss's actor anymore, but I do see a actor that I created before working on my boss. So by any chance, is there a way that I can save stuff or it auto saves? Because I feel like my actor did not save. I do have my code for it though. Okay, let's see, guys. This is kind of disappointing. Did it not save? Good. This is a real question. No, you did not lose your code. You lost a level instance, not a class. Big difference. I'm going to explain this slowly because this concept runs on real. Okay, Humane language actually sounds kind of cool. Okay, two different things. Do not mix them up. C++ class, your code. This is boss actor.h, boss actor.cpp. These live on disk. They're saved when you hit Control S in Visual Studio. Now, guys, they do not disappear. New chat. Guys, this is the first time I ran off my ChatGPT's chat limit. They do not disappear unless detected. Your code is safe. Your actor in a level. This is the thing. You drag into level. The outline that you drag into level. This is stored in level file dot umap. If the level wasn't saved, you open a different level, then close, change actor pawn. Unreal removes this instance. This is what happened. Why your boss disappeared? Exact reason you changed a actor to a pawn when Unreal reopened. The old package instance was based on a actor. That class no longer exists in that form. Unreal said this instance is invalid. It gets removed. This is our behavior. No corruption, no bug. Does Unreal autosave actors? No, not reliably. Okay, Unreal autosave backup files, temporary recovery status. Okay, it does not guarantee saving placed actors, especially after class changes. You must manually set levels. Okay, go to files, open level. It might be simply a different map to bring boss actor correct way. Draw boss actor to drag it to level again. Okay, here's the thing. I do not see my boss's actor inside of my Unreal's engine to begin with. Okay, let's go all the way there. Okay, I'm also making a shell in C that actually sounds really cool. Oh, nice. And yes, I know what Bash is very, actually, well, good luck then. That actually does sound kind of cool. But I just see my boss actor here because you changed the boss actor to a pawn where GPT practice is 1.0. Bro, use Copilot. I actually should use Copilot. Okay, that's it. I do want to like learn different kind of, I want to use like different kind of AIs to learn as well, but I feel like I'm really attached with ChatGPT. What up, guys? I see a save all here. Should I have clicked save all? Maybe my actor did not save because I did not hit save all. Is there a way to recover my actor, guys? I mean, it doesn't even like make a big difference type stuff because I can go, I have the codes. It's not going to be that hard to write it off again. Okay, so I see C slash C++. Well, maybe it's fine. I think I can write it on my own. Okay, let's close my content drawer real quick. It has a few commands. All commands currently control a pointer. It has a range from 0 to 255, meaning it can only print the basic Latin plain. It also has a command for increasing the pointer. That actually sounds really cool. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Now, next up, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe create another class real quick. So I might delete my actor class from here, or my boss actor class from there. Let's go to something like my tools. I'm gonna create a new C/C++ class. Now, let's create a actor. I'm gonna go with something like next. Your actor is now a pawn. Oh, wait, in that case, yeah, that's pretty cool. Wait, in that case, is there a way to get my actor back that I already created, or no? I don't think I can, maybe. Okay, maybe not. That's why it's not there in the scene. Is there a way to add it back to the scene type stuff? Perspective. Okay, I don't think there is a way to actually add it back to my scene, maybe. I mean, what if I go ahead and open level? Okay, load existing level. Map. Okay, save selected, not actor, make a pawn. Oh, okay, I see. I think I see. So, If I make a pawn, is the pawn always going to be safe type stuff? So could I call this something like boss? Boss is already used by another class, but the thing is I don't see that class anymore. Maybe I go with something like boss pawn. Okay, let's go with something like pawn. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a class. I created a boss pawns class. Okay, this does have a few parameters up here. Okay, so it has C++ and header files. I'm gonna go with something like Control A, Control C. Let's reload all. Okay, let's see. Quick restart, disable re-instance. Okay, guys, if I got a window here that says it's reloading everything. Okay, perfect. Now, as usual, I get a bunch of red underlines, or at least one red underline. Now, for my boss.c++, I'm going to go with Control A. Maybe I don't go with Control A, Control C. I might actually type this part out. So, under my begin play, I'm going to go ahead and create two methods. Speaking of which, I see a new function up here, set player input component function. I haven't seen that before. It's there in the project boss. It's there in the project boss. That class is there. It's there in the project. Should I open in my file explorer then? Okay, because I want to try getting it. I see a lightning class here. Okay, maybe I try opening in my solution explorer if I were to open my file browser. Let's go to my documents. Let's open Unreal projects. Main. Oops, there we go. Let me get my solution explorer up here. Boss class is there in the project too, but I don't see it. So if I see what if I go to source here? Okay, source, I see content. Okay, I see boss. What happens if I open it? Wait, I want to load it inside my... Okay, can't do that, guys. Chelsea. Hi, bro. How you doing, Nikhil? I appreciate you joining the stream, guys. I don't know why does Nightbot, like, time out people for just, like, spamming, like, eyes and all that stuff. I gotta, like, fix that stuff up. Because Nightbot does everything that I don't want it to do type stuff. Like, I wanted to, like, send my social link, like, once every 30 minutes or something. But, guys, apparently Nightbot doesn't do that stuff. Instead, it just, like, mutes people when they, like, say a bunch of eyes or something. That said, let's see. Project settings. Okay, it's there in the project too. So if I were to go here, this is my project thumbnail. Okay, I have description. But I don't think there is a way to get my class back. Or, like, my class exists here. Where do I see the class? Save codes, Control S. Okay. And then browse. Is there an edit thing? Can I type something like boss here to find my class? I cannot. Okay, I guess I just like add methods here. So firstly, my boss pawn, I'm gonna go ahead and create a void method called something like move forward. Bro, how you're so motivated to do these stuff? Honestly, guys, I wouldn't say I'm like motivated, but then I feel like the more we do stuff, the funner it gets type stuff. So like, it's just hard when we first start. Like when I first started the stuff, if you guys watch my first ever stream, guys, I was like, I was kind of an introvert type stuff. So I usually did not like to talk much, but then I feel practice did get me to talk type stuff because I have been streaming every single day for like 5 months. So I feel the more we do something that we don't like, the more that stuff becomes easier. Okay, let's go with something like forward with a parentheses. Now my move forwards method is going to be requiring a floating point parameter of value ending with a semicolon. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another void method called something like move right. Okay, with a parentheses that does require parameter of a floating point value as well. So there we go. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Now once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Let's go to my boss pawn.c++ file. In my C++ file, under my begin play, once my game actually begins, I want to enable my input because right now I do accept inputs, but then my actor or my pawn doesn't know that I actually am giving it inputs type stuff. Bro, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you, Nikhil? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Next up, let's see. Let's go there. There we go. Okay, you don't look introvert, lol. Guys, that actually does make sense. That's what I be like telling you guys so many times. I have a good poker face type stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and add something like enable input. So there we go. Okay, let's go with something like enable input with a parentheses. Now inside my enable input, I'm gonna be requiring a parameter of my player controller. So I might go with something like get world. Let's go with something like get world. Okay, and then let's go ahead I'm going to use the getWorld function with a pointer, so not point, with the arrow mark operator. I'm going to be pointing towards my player's controller, so I gotta go with something like get first player controller. I keep forgetting the function name. There we go. Get first player controller. So first player controller. Okay, perfect. I'm going to use this function. Then I go ahead and end my enable input function with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with that, let's see what to do. Okay, now you use the setup player input component down there in the class setup as you're using a pawn now. Oh, I see. Now you use setup player component. So instead of player component, I use setup player component type stuff. Okay, quick update. Currently doing the next layer, meaning break code into chunks, and then a parser makes sense of what the tokens means. Pretty sure that's correct. That actually sounds kind of cool. Now use the setup layer component down there in the class to set up the inputs as you're using pawn now. Okay, so instead of adding pawn component, ask ChatGPT how to do it for a pawn. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this. Okay, let's get this here. Let's go ahead and remove this as well. Okay, guys, there's a small issue here. How did I run out of my chat, guys? This is the first time in all my streams that I ran out of my ChatGPT's chat limit. Maybe, I could go ahead and copy this part real quick. So let's go ahead and copy that. Okay, let's copy some of this chat from here. Okay, let's see. There, that should be good. Let's copy that. Let's go to a new chat. Let's say something like, okay, let's say something like, let's say, do you recall our conversation from the chat called, okay guys, I forgot our chat name. So it's error code analysis. Let's go with something like error code analysis question mark. Okay, here's some of our chats. Okay, let's see. Okay, exactly, people, listen closely. This is like critical. Okay, all this stuff. Okay, let's see. Alright, this is like the basic stuff type stuff. Bro, just subscribe for free. It's 0 rupee. That actually means the world to me, guys. That actually does make sense as well. And guys, we're very close to, I think, 15,000 subscriber type stuff. That said, let's see. Let me see something like, let's say I'm trying to add, let's say something like key controls. I'm trying to add key controls for my pawn. I know how to do it for an actor, but not for a pawn. Can you show me, question mark? Okay, let's see. Honestly, I feel like the pawn would be much easier because I feel like the actors and stuff where we manually actually do stealth type stuff. Okay, that's sad. Okay, listen up, people. This is where the magic happens. Moving actor with inputs is lucky, but a pawn is built for input. This is Unreal Engine 1.0. Pawn are made to be possessed by a player controller. Input flows perfectly. No hacks, no null pointers, no crashes. Here's the step-by-step breakdown. Break it, read it, understand it, imprint it into your brains. He meant ChatGPT, not your YouTube channel. He meant ChatGPT. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. Bro, just subscribe for... Oh, I see. Okay, my code is giving me some errors right now. I'll gotta try fixing them. Honestly, yeah, good luck with fixing them, guys. Even I'm gonna try figuring this part out. Okay, changing your class. Instead of inheriting a actor from a pawn, include game framework / pawn new class. Now, okay, so instead of inheriting a actor from a pawn, I see. Oh, I see. So this is inheritance, thinking about it. Now, Unreal expects this object to be controlled. Player controller controls pawn, which controls input. Perfect chain overrides setup player input component. This is where excuse me, guys, this is where key bindings go. Unlike actor, you do not call enable input manually. Unreal calls this function automatically when a pawn is possessed. Void a pawn setup. Okay, excuse me, guys. So I have this template here. Bind access player input component. Bind access. Move forward this. A pawn, move forward. Oh, I see. Just that much. Player input component. Unreal already gives you the input component. Move forward. Already gives you the input component. Move forward. Okay, I see. This instance for the pawn and then a pointer. Implement movement functions exactly like earlier. If I see. Make sure your pawn is possessed. Place your Place your A pawn in the level, drag it to the content browser, in world settings, game mode, default pawn, set it to a boss pawn. Okay, I might do that part later. First, I want to try writing code up here. What are you doing today? Honestly, today I was planning to actually just work with actors, but I feel like pawn is something nice as well because I am going to be adding a camera as well. I did learn how to automate them type stuff. Okay, ban that able-bodied for something guy on Twitch. That's a scamming bot. Honestly, guys, I actually forgot about checking my Twitch chat up. What up, guys? Let's actually go to my Twitch chat up real quick. There we go. I should actually keep my chats open, but guys, since I didn't get my PC, I just have 2 monitors. I don't have like 3 anymore to actually check stuff. Okay, let's see. Okay, oh, I see. Alright, let's go all the way there. Okay, perfect. That's it. Now, let me go ahead and add a few stuff here. So, in my pawn.header files, I'm going to be going ahead and adding my 2 methods here. Then, I go to my boss pawns C++ file. Inside my C++ file, I'm assuming under my setup player input component, I'm going to go ahead and let's say something like player input component. I'm going to create a player input component. Okay, with a pointer, which is going to be a pointer towards my bind axis. I think I spelled component wrong. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna bind axis to something. Let's go with something like move forward. Okay, so I'm going to be moving forward, and then let's say something like I want to move this pawns forward, and then I'm gonna go with something like my a boss pawns is class. I'm gonna go with something like a boss pawn with a scope resolution operator. Maybe let me just get this in a new line. There we go. I use a scope resolution operator here, and then I'm gonna go with something like my move forward. There we go. My move forward is class. And lastly, I'm gonna go with something like true. Okay, should I start making a shell in Bash? Yes, I know. It's shell made in shell. Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. What's shell about? Hi there. How doing, Diane? How doing, Diane? Appreciate you joining the stream, guys. I need to work on my pronunciations because I feel like I'm awful when it comes to name pronunciations. That's it. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let me scroll all the way up. I forgot. Okay, so I go with bind axis, move forward. This a pawn. I move forward. Player input component. So player input component bind axis. Everything's correct here. Why do I still see a red underline? Okay, if you want sure if that's on your mind and you think you can go for it, then go for it. I see. Are you making these streams every single day? Honestly, I do stream every single day. Okay, that's it. Let's see. My bind axis is a method. I did this though. Bind axis mapping. I've player input component. So I have player input component. Oh, I could have just copied this. To white typos. Bind axis. Bind axis. No instance of overload function. You input bind axis. Okay, matching the argument list. What up, guys? Did I FORWARD move forward FORWARD? Did I like make a typo or something here? Because I feel this is correct. I'm 13, so currently making some projects for fun that might actually end up giving me job opportunities in the future. Guys, actually working on coding since 13 is actually pretty cool. Okay, let's see. So there we go. Now, am I actually missing something? I might actually just copy this part to check if it actually works type stuff. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Okay, this worked. What is something different that I did? Let's go with Control C. Let's go ahead and paste this down here. Let's see where I messed up. I have this parameter. I have this parameter. Player input component point towards bind axis, BIND axis, and then move forward, FORWARD. This, oh, the memory address of a pawn. Okay, and then I go with something like move forward, ending with a semicolon. Huh, use ampersand last arg. That actually does make sense. But then I still don't see it like... Okay, Boolean parameter. I added my... Okay, I thought I needed a Boolean parameter to be honest, because I remember using a Boolean... Okay, there we go, that fixed it. But I remember using a Boolean parameter for my actor. I think it's not the same as for my character here. Oh, okay, my pawn does not require a boolean because my actor class did. I think they're different there. I should check my parameters by hovering over my function name. That's it. Next up, I'm going to go with something like player input component. Let's go with something like a player input component. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and create a player input component and bind my axis to something. Let's say I want to go with something like move right. Now let's go with something like move right. I want to go ahead and move this, which is my pawn in this case. I made a rudimentary ANSI to HTML force in pure bash before. I think I should be able to make shell and bash. That sounds kind of cool. No overload version for that, I see. Okay, and then after this, I'm going to go ahead and add the address of operator of a boss pawn. Let's go with something like pawn. Okay, and then I'm going to go with something like move right. Okay, perfect. And then let's go ahead and end my entire function with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Maybe I get this in a new line as well, so they look kind of even type stuff. Okay, I mean, yeah, I wish you good luck. That actually does make sense. Good luck to you too, Calspanier. I mean, whatchamacallit, I wish you good luck as well, Calspanier. Okay, let's go ahead and end this part. Now, once I'm done with this, is there something else that I want to do? I think I gotta go ahead and add my basic if statements, but should the basic if statements go inside my set player input component or inside my main function? Maybe let's get some say/chat-GPT up here. Okay, and then implement move functions exactly like in your actor class. Now it's safer to move forward. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, where do I implement the if statements question mark? Under my begin or under my player input question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, listen people, stop thinking about under or above like a scrambled puzzle logic where it belongs. If your value is not equal to 0 statement, that one checks to, okay. Actually, pressing key goes inside your move function, not inside begin player. Okay, not in setup. Here's how it flows. Setup component, so I do that stuff. Okay, so why a boss? Oh, I see. Okay. Move forward, move right function. Okay, these are separate functions. But should I go ahead and add those functions here? Or under my begin? I think I should add it here. GPT well said. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a void function here. Let's go with something like void. I'm going to create a boss pawn this function. Let's go with something like a boss pawn, which is going to be called something like, I don't know, maybe move forward. Okay, and then I'm going to go with a parentheses. My function is going to be requiring a floating point parameter of something like, let's say, maybe value. Okay, then I go with the prof curly braces. Now, under my boss pawn, I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to add a if statement to check if my value is not equal to 0, because if my value is equal to 0, that means I'm not typing something type stuff. That's it. If my value is not equal to 0, I'm going to do something. Firstly, I'm going to check if value equals to 0. If value not equals to 0, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I want to get the location where my player is facing type stuff. So, I'm going to go with something like, let's go with, I don't know, maybe, let's see, maybe a v vector or a f vector. Let's go with something like f vector. Okay, which is going to be called something like, maybe, let's see, direction. Okay, that is going to be equal to my get actor vector. I think it was called something like get actor forwards vector. There we go. So I get my actor's forward vector while he's facing in front type stuff. That's it. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go with a prof parentheses. Now, inside my get, once I'm done with that, I'm going to end that with a semicolon as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my, add my actor to my worlds as offset. So I'm going to use the add actor world offset function. There we go. So adding actor to worlds as offset, I'm assuming means I'm going to add my actor to my actual world type stuff. This function requires a parameter of my speed. So firstly, I'm going to go ahead and add my direction, which is my place where my player is going to be facing, and then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by my value. My value is either going to be positive or negative. If it's negative, then my player is going to go backwards. If it's positive, my player is going to go forwards. Then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by, let's say, something like 600.0 f. This is centimeters per frame, how much centimeters per frame I want to go. And lastly, I multiply that by my get world. Okay, my get world is function, which is going to be pointing towards, let's say, something like delta times seconds. There we go. Basically, what this means is I go ahead and get my direction where my player is facing. I multiply that by my value, either negative direction, either positive direction. I multiply that by 600, either negative 600 or positive 600. And then I multiply it by get world delta time in seconds, which is basically FPS, so smooth movement, ending with a semicolon. Okay, how doing? Hamdish? Is that how I pronounce your name, guys? I'm off for the name pronunciation. What are you building? Honestly, I'm like working on adding camera to my mesh in Unreal Engine type stuff. That's it. Now, once I'm done, actually, but before I actually add a camera, I'm trying to automate or like move my mesh using key controls. Okay, now I gotta go ahead and create another function. So I'm gonna create a boss. Let's go with something like a boss spawns function. Okay, which is going to be called something like move backwards. Let's go with something like backwards. Actually, move right, not backwards, guys. My bad. There we go. Move right is function which requires a parameter of value. It is going to be a floating point parameter. And then I check something. I check if my value is not equal to 0. So I go with something like if not value equal to 0. I'm going to get the place where my player is facing, either towards the left, either towards the right. I'm going to be my f vector's structure is going to be represented by a directions local variable, which is going to be equal to get actor right vector. So I'm going to be getting my actors as right side's location type stuff, ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and add my actor to my worlds as offset. So let's go with something like world offset. Okay, and then add a prof parentheses. Now, I'm going to add this exact same formula that I used here. I'm going to go ahead and multiply my direction by, let's say, something like my values. So I know if I'm either going positive or negative, then I multiply that by 600.0 floating point, okay, which is 600 centimeters per frame. Then I use the get world function, and then I point towards, let's say, something like my delta time seconds. There we go. So this is basically FPS for smooth movement, and basically that's pretty much it. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and then check if my boss spawn header files are saved. Okay, it is saved. Let's go to my Unreal Engine here. Okay, I'm gonna go to my content drawer. Let's go to my classes. Okay, so in my classes, I have a pawn here. So I have a boss's pawn. Wait, God, in that case, I already had my boss's pawn. Might as well get my boss pawns' actor here. There we go. Now I have my boss pawn all the way up here. I want to go ahead and add a static mesh to my boss pawn so I can actually see something moving. Now my static mesh is gonna be my boss actor. Okay, perfect. That's my pawn. Okay, let's go ahead and get that a bit up. Okay, perfect. Now once I'm done getting my boss's mesh here, I'm gonna go ahead and hit Control Alt F11. Let's patch my code real quick. I get this window here. Guys, I might want to use a restroom as well. Okay, let's see. Once I'm done successfully patching my code, I'm gonna go ahead and run the code. This is my boss's pawn. Okay, I cannot move my camera, but if I hit S, my pawn goes backwards, it comes forwards, it goes to the left. Guys, it goes to the... Wait, I think I'm the one that's moving and not my pawn. What up, guys? I am the one moving. Hold on, guys. Am I the pawn? Like, is my camera stuck to my pawn's head type stuff? Let's hit something like escape, exit the code. Okay, wait, guys. Is a camera already set? Hold on, guys. Let's hit something like Control A, Control C, copy that. Let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Let's go ahead and say something like, so let's say this is the code for my .h file. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it here. Again, let's say something like, and this is the code for my .cpp file, for my .c++ file. Let's go all the way there. Go with Control A, Control C, copy that, just in case /ChatGPT up here. Okay, there we go. Maybe because I didn't have my function somewhere down, you need to assign the boss pawn as the main pawn in the game settings. How do we do that? Wait, let me actually go all the way here. Okay, let's say something like, Easton say, my pawn does not move, but my camera does. Someone from my chat said me to assign, let's go with something like assign my pawn as the main pawn in my game settings, question mark. How to do that? Okay, let's see. People, I see that. Whoops. What up, guys? There we go. Let's go to something like project. Okay. Okay, people, I see the problem, and that's classic beginner Unreal mistake again. First, the small but deadly bug in your movement function. If value is not equal to 0, this does not do what you think. Not value equals to 0 is evaluated as not value equals to 0. Value flips boolean if value is 0. Okay, okay. You want if value is not equal to, I mean, I think it's the okay, I mean, I think it's the exact same thing. If value is not equal to 0, this will actually check if the input is 0. Honestly, that actually, for some reason, that makes way more sense than what I did up here. If my value is not equal to 0, I mean, I think both are exactly the same because my value is a number. That number is not equal to 0. Both is exactly the same, guys. Okay, that's it. Let's read the next thing. Here, how to assign your pawn as the main pawn. Open World Settings, Windows, World Settings. Find Game Mode, override, click your game mode, or create one if it exists. Inside game mode, set default pawn class to a boss pawn. Okay, a boss pawn. Save and play, and the player controller will possess the pawn. Okay, so World Settings, game mode, override. Okay, let's open my Unreal Engine up. Here I gotta go to something like window. Gotta find world settings. I see world. Okay, do you guys see world settings? Guys, I want to use a restroom really bad. My progress on shells in shell, I currently have it running program, no arc fraser so far. That actually sounds kind of cool. That's it, guys. I might actually use the restroom real quick before I actually add my world settings here. Not value equals to 0 is not the same as value not equal to 0. Is it not? Because honestly, what's the difference in that case? I think that not value, like if my value is not equal to 0 or values, honestly, I feel like it did look like the same, but it might be something like different. There we go, world settings. Now in my world settings, game override, I'm gonna set this to be something like boss pawn. Let's go with something like one item. Hold up, guys, I should set that to my boss pawn, right? Let's see. So set it to a boss pawn, so I gotta go with something like a boss pawn. Okay, so instead of just tapping boss pawn, I'm gonna go with something like a boss pawn. Oops, so let's delete that part. Let's go here. Let's go with something like a boss. Maybe I go with something like a boss. Okay, don't I have a boss pawn here? Nice, guys. Hope you finish your shell soon. Okay, you're slightly on the right track, am I? Okay, so wait, should I go somewhere else in that case? Guys, I want to use the restroom real quick. I might actually pause my stream real quick because, guys, I feel like I've been holding my restroom for like a long time. That's it. Let me mute myself real quick and go to my gameplay. Actually, my gameplay screen. Actually, not my gameplay screen. Give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, bye guys. I was just using a restroom real quick. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Where was I at? So there we go. Okay, so you're still slightly on the right track. Slightly on the right track. So I see something like game mode's override, but then I don't see my boss spawn up here. What if I like scroll all the way down here? Let's get sensei slash chat gp chat all the way up here again. Okay, now let's see. So it says find game mode override. Click your game mode. Okay, or create one if it exists. Inside your game mode, set default pawn to a boss pawn. So I gotta set default pawn to a boss pawn. I think oh, default pawn. There we go, to a boss pawn. I can set it to a boss pawn. Not value means it's treated as boolean, not a float. It doesn't make sense. Oh, okay, that actually makes sense. I should have thought of that, to be honest. Okay, set default pawn. So this is none. Let's change none to, there we go, game mode. Okay, wait, maybe let's get some c/chat guys. I think I understood what this means type stuff. Find game mode override. Okay, inside game mode. Okay, so find game mode override. Not value inverts it to 2D opposite. True becomes false and false true. Oh, okay. Actually, when you guys actually phrase it that way, it actually makes so much more sense, because that does make sense, because like not turns true to false and false to true type stuff. When I first actually learned to that topic, I was like pretty confused about that, but now it actually makes so much sense. Okay, this is gonna be game mode, and then default pawn. It says default pawn. How do you change it? I cannot change it, honestly. Let me go ahead and get sensei slash chat GPT here again. Let's say something like, let's say I see the place, but I can't change my default pawn for some reason. Okay, it doesn't let me click it. People, you're letting the UI confuse you and are wasting time. Listen closely. This is Unreal, not a magic. If you can't change the default pawn in your game mode, there's a few usual culprits. You're trying to change it in the level instead of in the game mode. Your open project settings, maps, and modes. Make sure game mode override is actually a custom game mode. So project settings, maps, and modes, not the default game mode base. Only custom modes let you change default pawn. Okay, so I gotta go to project settings, maps, and modes. So let's open my Unreal. Let's go to my project settings. So there we go. And then I gotta go to something like maps and modes right here. Okay, it's game mode base. I gotta change this to something like game mode. Okay, perfect. And now let's go ahead and exit that part. Let's close this thing from here. Shouldn't we like restart it or something? Okay, let's go to something like world settings. It's set to game mode. I still can't change it. What up, guys? Okay, so not the default game mode base. Only custom game modes let you change default pawn. Okay, make sure game mode override is set to custom game mode. If it's none or locked, Unreal will ignore the change. The class isn't marked correctly or compiled. Hash truth. Okay, let me say something like okay, why is that happening though? Because in my project settings, I set this to game mode. Is there a way to save stuff like Control S? Okay, like Control S, maps and modes. Okay, use selected asset from content browser. I set it to game mode. Is there something else that I have to do here to save it? Does it just save like that, just like that? Okay, I still can't change my default pawn. Should I go with something like Control S to save the code? I did save the code. That is game mode. I still can't change my default pawn. What up, guys? Let's get sensei slash chat GPT up here. Now, let's say something like, let's say I changed it from my project settings, but I still see the change option, but I can't click it. It's set to, you should make a custom game mode. You should make a custom game mode. How do I make a custom game mode? In project settings, do I see something like custom? Okay, like GPT said, make a custom game mode. How do I make a custom game mode? Let me ask that to Sincere real quick. There we go. Okay, so I gotta make a custom game mode. I can't click it. It's set to default spawn. Although someone from my chat said me to make a custom game mode. ... how do I make a custom game mode question mark? Okay, let's see. People, listen, focus. You can't keep blaming these settings. This is the basic Unreal workflow. Learn from it or waste hours. Here's how to make a custom game mode step by step. Create a new class. Go to File, C++ class, okay. Name it something like my game mode. Click Create Class, wait for Unreal to compile. Should I open it again? You set your pawn in the default constructor. My game, okay, pawn, default pawn class equals to a pawn class static class. This is the key. Unreal will know which pawn to spawn. Okay, let me say something like, so should I create a new class? Can't I use the class that I already have, question mark? Okay, let's see, and give me a sec, guys. I'm actually mute myself. I think there's like a lot of background noises real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect, guys. How to make sure that like the background noise is kind of gone. That's it. Listen, people, you can use your existing, but Unreal locks the default pawn in the project settings if there is no custom game mode. That's why you can click it. If you want, keep your boss pawn and test it immediately. You still need a custom game mode. It doesn't need to be big or complex. Just else, cutting long story, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, it just tells Unreal, hey engine, use this pawn by default. So do this, create a new game mode, tiny, just one line. In the constructor, set your default pawn equals to a boss pawn static class. Okay. Assign, okay, so default pawn. So I think this is my boss pawn header file. So let's actually close these two things from here. Okay, you need to make a custom game mode, not a new pawn. Okay, maybe I copy my header files. I've honestly never made a custom game mode, so let's paste this here. Let's see something like, let's say, should I add that somewhere here in my .h file, question mark? Okay, let's see. Alright, new people, stop camming your stuff into your pawn. Your h file boss stays exactly like that. You do not touch it or set a default stuff. Okay, the default pawn stuff goes in game mode class, not in your pawn class. You need a new class that inherits from a game mode. Only in that class you say default pawn class, so your pawn stays the same. Got it? Man is using AI to code. Just learn. No industry standard company will hire a wipe coder. Guys, it's actually not wipe coding. I am using AI, but just to learn and how to code like the basics and all that stuff, because there's like, without AI, it would just be like me standing in a void and trying to figure out what to do. I didn't hear if you saw the comment, but you should try doing lead code questions later on. That actually does make sense, guys. I've been holding myself back from doing lead code because I do want to like have a specific series just on solving lead code question type stuff. That GPT told you how to make a custom game mode class. Okay, so for that, I think Sensei/ChatGPT said me to create a new class. Assign your game mode. Okay, wait, let me go all the way up here. Okay, project settings, game mode. Your game mode is locked. Level settings, non-stuff. Did it say in the top chat? Okay, let me say something like, let's say, can you tell me again how to create a custom game mode class? I think still, let's say something like, I think that I didn't understand that part. Make a new class and select game. Oh, okay, hold up, guys. I think I see. If I go choose new class, I just remember these 4 stuff, but if I scroll down, I see more options. There we go. I see game mode base, and then so I see stale widgets, I see blueprint function, I see game state, player state, I see game mode. So should I go with game mode base? Okay, I think I see, guys. Hold up, let's get some Sensei/ChatGPT up here. Maybe hydrate my lips up real quick. It's game mode based. There we go. That makes so much more sense. Guys, my lip balm's almost over. My chapstick's almost over. I gotta like get a new one. That said, okay, I gotta choose that. Name it something like my game mode.c++. Okay, so my game mode. I think I see. Okay, so let's go to my game mode base. There we go. Let's go with next. Let's name it my game mode. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and create a class. Okay, yeah, game mode based. That actually makes so much sense. Unreal is a little bit harder for beginners. Godot is very good game engine for beginners, in my opinion. That actually does make sense. I feel like Unreal is hard as well, but that's one reason that I'm actually kind of doing it, because for some reason, I feel like I enjoy stuff that's like a bit hard to do type stuff. That said, maybe let me go ahead and eat some apples. Mm-hmm. Mm. There we go, my game mode here. Let's get that inside right here. Open the source code in Visual Studio. Let's reload all. I really don't understand what you're doing now. Honestly, I am actually like working on setting a camera for my PNG, because I can actually move my mesh around my screen or everything, but my camera is just in one location. I just see it moving. I want to move when my player moves as well, if that makes any sense. That's it. I get my game mode .c++ file and my game modes as header files. Now let's just say /chat up here again. I want to go ahead and see what to add now. Now in my game mode.c++, you tell it which pawn is the default pawn. So in my game modes is class, okay, so I'm assuming to say constructor default pawn class equals to a boss pawn static class default pawn class. Okay, so in my C++, I'm going to go ahead and create a game mode. Okay, this is going to be my game mode class, which is going to be having all the public content. Is it a class? Did I create the class correctly, guys? Okay, a my game mode. So it's a my game mode. There we go. Okay, which is going to inherit or have a constructor. So I'm going to go with something like a my game mode. Okay, with a prof parentheses. Then I go with the prof curly braces. Okay, hi mate, hiding duck here. I appreciate you joining the stream. It's honestly been a while since I've seen you on the stream. How you doing? Okay, so in my game mode, okay, and then I go with the prof curly braces. I think I did that part correct. Now I don't even use Unreal, but the Unity, but just by watching you do stuff wrong, I've understood how Unreal more now. I see that actually makes. Okay, is Unreal and Unity like almost the same type stuff? Quick update, around halfway done with my first version. That sounds kind of cool. Okay, doing great. Okay, bro, how do you forget the old concept which you not frequently use, like friend function or class? Do you forget the old concepts? Honestly, I do actually forget the old concepts type stuff if I don't have like practice on those stuff and all that. But once we actually like go through the code, if we did like learn the basics really good, a quick little brush up like by just doing a few questions or like adding a code that consists of that topic and it could like jog our memory type stuff. I think like it might be different depending on person type stuffs as well. And how does C++ help? You can't use it you can't do it just by using Unreal. Honestly, I am like using C++ and Unreal type stuff. Let me copy this real quick because I forgot the function name. And then let's paste it here. Okay, honestly, I am like using C++ in like Unreal. So the way I add functions and everything, for example, here a void function. This is all C++ logic. I just add this stuff in my Unreal function using some of my Unreal's keywords and all that stuff that makes sense, like player input component, bind access, and all that stuff. Okay, that said, okay, so I see this here. I see it right underlined here from my C++ file. What if I were to go with something like Control C, copy that. Let's get something /chat GPT up here. Okay, include boss pawn.header files. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to go with something like hashtag include. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and include a boss pawn. Or I think I just got to go with something like boss pawn.h. My boss pawns are the header files. There we go. My game mode is here. Okay, no instance overload function. If I were to get syntax /chat GPT here, boss pawn.header files. Okay. I think it's correct, to be honest. Now, if I hit Control S here, let's go ahead and hit Control S here as well. Moment of truth, guys. Let me actually first copy that because I want to check if this part is actually correct, even though it's the same thing. The space does say something like, let's say, this is my game modes is CPP file, which is C++ file. That's let's see, good people. That.cpp is perfect, exactly how you said. Default custom fonts. Okay, now in your header file for my game mode needs to exist to be correct too. It should look like this. Include, so I include my game mode.generated h. Okay, so I generate and then I gotta publicize everything, go with my game mode. So my game mode. Okay, so apparently in my header files, I just need to go ahead and publicize everything. Also, what's the game about you're already working on? Honestly, basically, for now, I'm not like working on like actual game logic type stuff. I'm just trying to understand the basic concepts of like Unreal Engine here. So I learned on how to automate my mesh right here. I learned how to move my mesh using key controls. I'm trying to work on adding a spring arm, which is basically the neck, and then I mean neck in just terms of like, I don't know guys, a metaphor type stuff. And then I'm going to be adding like a camera above it, which is the eye, so I can see the stuff that my mesh sees type stuff. That's let's go to let's get some say slash chat GPT here. I gotta go ahead and publicize everything first of all. So let's go with something like public. I'm gonna call my a boss. Let's go with something like a boss spawn. There we go, with a parentheses ending with a semicolon. Okay, is it called a boss spawn? It's called my game mode. My bad, guys. My game mode. My game mode. Okay, so I call my game mode up here. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code, get my Unreal Engine up here. Okay. Now, let's see if I can really change my game mode. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let's go to my boss spawn. And then let's go to my Windows. Let's go to my world settings. Can I change this? I have this set to something like, okay, my game mode. Okay, wait, let's get some slash chat GPT. Let's say something like, let's say, I'm done adding the code, although how do I implement it on my Unreal Engine? Like world settings and then question mark, or should I not do that? Question mark. Hold up, guys. I gotta like fix my typos, to be honest. Let's go with something like world settings. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Listen carefully, people. This is a crucial, so don't half-ass it. You cannot just write game mode code. Unreal needs to know which game mode your level is actually using. Here's the proper way. Open your level in Unreal, bro. Start developing apps, websites. I really don't recommend game dev. Honestly, I don't want to like eventually stick with game dev, but I did like have a series where I do like what you may call it. Spend 250 days learning programming in general, and my goal by the end of the series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. So that's the reason I am actually like working with like game dev for the time being. But after this, I will like work on making chatbots and everything. Maybe after my this series. That said, open your level in Unreal, go to the top menu, settings, world settings. If you don't see world settings, click settings, world settings. Okay, to make a panel appear, click the bottom drop down, select your my game mode class. This tells Unreal to use your custom game mode for this level only. Hit play. Now your boss spawn will spawn as the default spawn. Optional if you want all levels to use this. Okay. Let's get some slash ChatGPT. Current of my features, language, numbers, and strings, input, command in, print, command P, if statement, while loop functions, command fun, and end to close the function. What you think? That actually sounds kind of cool. But your consistency is impressive. That actually means the world to me, Mochi Mochi. I appreciate you so much for that, guys. Okay, that's it. Let's see. So I have my game mode. So my game mode. Wait, is it just game mode? If I did Control Alt F11 to patch my code, let's go ahead and patch this up real quick. Let's see what happens. Guys, I feel like I want to sneeze real quick. Okay, there we go. Now let's go back here. Patching successful. I might hit Control S as well, because why not? Let's run the code. Moment of truth, guys. Okay, can't I move at all? Okay, so it says a controller boss spawn. Let's hit escape. Excuse me, guys. Okay, let's see. So my okay boss spawn. I wish I could send like a picture. Functions. Functions. Should I add like functions type stuff? What up? Let's get synthase slash chat GPT up here again. There we go. Okay, let's say something like say I. Okay, wait. It says now your boss spawn. The game mode for this level only. In the world settings panel, game mode override. Okay, game mode override. Okay, let's say something like I ran the code, but let's say something like okay, but I couldn't even move my mesh this time, question mark. Okay, did I do something wrong? Okay, let's see. Okay, wait, let me actually go to my Visual Studio here real quick. You did all right. I did all right. So is my camera set in that case? Okay, so I have my floor here. Okay, a pawn will not move unless it has root component. There we go. Hell yes, I see the problem, people. You've done a bunch of things right. Your game mode, your pawn, input binding. There's one sneaky unreal thing you're missing. A pawn will not move unless it has a root component that can actually move. Right now you have a boss pawn, but you never had a mesh movement component. Unreal doesn't magically move your mesh because you call add actor world offset if your pawn root is null, your mesh isn't attached to the root. It will stay frozen. You're in the C++. Okay, I gotta go with use static mesh component, which is gonna be called mesh. This goes under my ticks. Create default sub object. Alright guys, this is maybe a bit too much. Let's see. Okay, I didn't work with the... Okay, so I gotta use static mesh component. I did work with this before. Mesh, okay, which is a local variable representing it. That is going to be equal to create default sub object. Did that before as well. This shouldn't be as hard, guys. And then root component mesh. Optional, set a basic cube mesh so you can see it. Static constructor helper for object. Okay, I might actually copy this part first because I want to see if it actually works type stuff. Let's copy that. Okay, let's see. Your game mode is now the new game mode and your boss is the main pawn. I see previously Unreal was adding default player. That's why you were able to move around the level. That actually does make sense. Okay, that's it. Now, let me go ahead and add this inside of my boss pawn.c++. My boss pawn.cpp. Right here. Okay, I want to see what it does as well. Because first I want to check if it actually works. Let's hit Control S to save the code. Get studio here. No, this is not needed. Isn't it needed? Okay, I mean, I could actually just hit Control Alt F11 and check if it actually, what it actually does. You should make a pawn as movable from the details panel. From the details panel, shouldn't we like use code for that stuff? Because I thought adding code would make it much more fun. Okay, guys, I think I should have listened. I ran into the same error yesterday, but unlike yesterday, today I actually do know how to fix this stuff. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is remove this part. Now, you don't need that at all, bro. Oh, okay. Now let's hit Control Alt B, guys. I think I should start listening because like sometimes I feel like I just be agreeing, but then I just still do it anyways. That's not in the tick. Guys, did I mess up in the tick? Wait, I think it was in the tick here, so it's... Oh, wait, it's in the constructor. Okay, wait, hold up. I think I kind of messed up here. Now, let's open Unreal again. I feel like it might be the same thing because I did make sure to save my code this time. That is not needed to make the mesh at all. Oh, in that case, I might make it without the mesh. Okay, let's open my main function though. Okay, my Unreal is opening here. Meanwhile, let me eat another apple. Alright guys, that was actually a mouthful. That's it, you don't need that though. Don't I need it? Oh, okay. I might not add that in that case. That's it. Okay, let's go to C/C++ classes. Why do I always just have one exact class? Where are my other classes gone? You don't need that. Your code is wrong. Honestly, I think I removed that. Okay, notch value equals to 0. Oh, okay, this is a boolean. Okay, let's change this to be floating point numbers. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and delete that part as well. Okay, that's actually perfect type stuff. Now let's get some things like ChatGPT up here. Let me say something like, let's say let's go with something like I closed my Unreal Engine real quick. Let's go with something like I closed my Unreal Engine by mistake. I didn't actually close it by mistake type stuff. That said, when I opened it again, I don't see any of my classes on my content browser. Let's go with something like content browser now. Question mark, let's see. I forgot calc. My language doesn't really enforce indentation, but for readability, I would probably use spaces instead of tabs with 4 space. That actually does sound kind of good. That's it. Oh, people, that's a classic Unreal. I hope you didn't lose anything. Panic moment. Here's what's happening. Your C++ class don't show up in the content browser by default. Only blueprints appear there. Your a boss and my game mode are still in your project. They're just invisible in the content browser unless you create a blueprint that derives from them. Okay, here's how to fix it. Right click in the content browser, create a basic asset called blueprint class, pick all classes, search for your C++ class. Okay, boss spawn selected, name it, open it. Now you have a blueprint that uses C++ code. Okay, personally I had hard tab when indenting, just a preference. I see. Okay, that's it guys. When I go in the blueprint class, you lost the file due to the crash as you didn't save, I guess. I mean guys, it always happens. Even like when I don't get a crash, every time I exit my Unreal, it always happens. Maybe I gotta try. Is it because I didn't create blueprints? Go to content browser, create basic assets, blueprint class. Let's open Unreal. Let's go to my content browser, and then where's the create blueprints type stuff? Let's go with something like okay, I don't think there's create blueprints up here, so content. Okay, maybe let's get some payback here. Let's see. So I gotta go to content browser, create basic assets. So I gotta go ahead and create basic assets. Number 2, pick all classes, search for C++ class, pick all classes. So, okay, where's create assets, guys? I still see how, oh, there we go. Oh, I see. Okay. Animation blueprint class. Okay, so I gotta go with blueprint class. Okay, fun. Okay, so this is a class now. New blueprint. Wait, did it actually get my floor? Okay, wait, not floor, player start. Okay, that is my player start. Although, what if I hit something like right, create a child blueprint class? Okay, let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Honestly, guys, this part does seem kind of complicated. Select it, name it, open it. Pick all classes. Pick all classes. I did not understand. Let me say something like, I did not understand. Should say. Okay, what is this topic called in case I want to watch tutorials after the stream, question mark? Okay, I want to know what are these topics called. Okay, people, what are you dealing with here is called C++ classes and blueprint integration in Unreal Engine. More specifically, the subtopic you want to look up is C++ pawn/actor to blueprint. Okay, now let's see. Okay, let's say something like, but for the time being, every time I exit my Unreal Engine, I lose all my, let's say something like, I lose all my stuff from my content browser, except one class that I created like yesterday. Why is that so? Okay, is it because like I don't save stuff? I'm pretty sure that I save stuff though. I just told you to make a blueprint, lol. GPT is hallucinating now, guys. It actually does make sense. How do I like, what's the difference between making a blueprint class and not making a blueprint class? Okay, people, this is because classes in Unreal don't automatically show up in the content browser. Here's what's happening. When you create a C++ class, it exists in your project folder on disk like source, your project. Okay, Unreal Engine only shows blueprints or assets. Oh, in the content browser, by default, C++ classes themselves aren't assets. The one class you see from yesterday is probably a blueprint. I did make it a blueprint class. From a C++ class, blueprints are actual assets and persistent. Okay, persistent content browser. Also, I got a blueprinted. Howdy, Leon. I appreciate you joining this stream. It's been a while since I've seen you. Okay, how are you doing? If you want to see a place your C++ spawn in the world, you must right-click your C++ class, create blueprint class based on it, drag the blueprint to the level. Until that, Unreal Engine only knows class exists in code, not as placeable assets. Okay. Apparently, guys, the reason why this thing wasn't saving is because I did not create blueprints. Guys, I think I should have, I should always listen to you guys when you guys actually tell that stuff. That's, let's see. So, I have a boss actor. This is apparently, it is a blueprint class. Okay, but for the time being, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Remove that. Let's save and remove that. And let's remove this. Now, I'm going to go all the way up here. Maybe I'm going to open my content browser real quick. Inside my file explorer, I'm going to go with something like, documents, and then Unreal projects, main. I'm going to go ahead and delete a few classes. Maybe I go with something like content. There we go. I have a map, material, boss, developer. Okay, maybe I go back. What about binaries? Saved? Okay, so all this is saved. This is source control. I mean, most stuff is saved. I just wanted to remove the class because I might not use it type stuff. Okay, so in my source, I have my main. Let's go to my intermediate. Okay, I see build, but I don't see my classes. Maybe in my content I might see. Okay, I do see my boss mesh up here and my boss. I could delete it. Oh, boss is the one here. There we go. What GPU you got? Honestly, for the time being, I don't have a GPU because I am using the GPU that's integrated inside of my motherboard type stuff. But I might actually get it if my Unreal Engine gets kind of laggy type stuff. For the time being, I feel it works pretty nice. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a class. And this time, I'm going to make sure to make my class as a blueprint class. So I'm going to go to something like new class. Okay, and then let's go ahead and create a actor class. Let's go with something like maybe pawn. I don't think I need an actor. I'm going to go with something like pawn. Let's call it something like boss pawn. Okay, let's go with boss pawn 1. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a class. Now, once I'm done creating my boss pawns class, I'm going to go ahead and add a mesh representing my class type stuff. Okay, that said, I might want to hydrate my lips real quick. Okay, before that, I do get a batch coding type stuff. Okay. Okay, your C++ should be inside source folder. Your C++ should be inside source folder. Should it if I have my... Should I drag and drop something inside my source folder type stuff? Alright guys, let me just check if this thing works perfectly. There we go. Okay. There we go. Let me just do that. Okay, gotta make sure the stream's actually working perfectly. Okay, your C++ should be inside your source folder. How do I do that stuff? That said, let me go ahead and reload this first. Okay, and then let's get my Unreal Engine back here. Now I'm going to go to something like tools, create another C++ class. This time I'm going to go ahead and create, let's say something like a game mode based class. Then I go with something like next. Let's go with something like my game mode base. And I create a class. Okay, perfect. Maybe I should have created a new folder type stuff. Okay, let's see. Okay, add code to your C++ folder. Okay, hello my friends. How are you doing? Ortrix, is that your pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's go all the way here. Let's go ahead and reload all. Okay, hello Brazil. Okay, let's go to my Unreal Engine up here. Now that I'm done with all that stuff, I'm going to go ahead and do something. When you make a new class, you can see whenever you're saving it. Wait, I gotta save every time I create it? Hold on, guys. Is it just me or these classes was not here before? Why do I have a strong feeling that these classes were not here before? I'm really sure it was not. Maybe I go ahead and delete this. Wait, before I delete it, I want to go ahead and get my boss pawn in here. How did this come? Do I just need to give it some time? Okay, and then let's get my game mode up here as well. My boss pawn is going to be having, let's say, something like a static mesh representing it. Let's go with something like static mesh. Guys, did I just have to give it a time all along for it to actually load inside my Unreal Engine? Okay, because I could have like sworn that these classes or these things were not here. Excuse me, guys. See, you have all the classes, guys. How did I get the class here? It was not here a while ago. Like, I'm positive, guys. Okay, that's it. I mean, I shouldn't be complaining. It actually worked. Let's go ahead and delete these extra classes. Okay, we cannot delete classes. I was shocked. Okay, there we go. My classes all of a sudden just appeared. Speaking of which, I want to open the code and open the code here. There we go. So I open my game mode, boss pawn, game mode. Okay, my game mode. Okay, this is game mode base. Going to remove game mode base. Going to remove game mode base. Okay, wait. Let's just remove everything for the time being. Hold on, guys. Let's remove that. Let's remove that. Let's remove that. Let's open my Visual Studio real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get my boss classes code. I just see the header files. I want to open it again. Game mode. I just get the header files. Where's my C++ files? Okay, wait, let me get sensei/chatgpt back up here. Let me say something like, sensei, all of a sudden, I got, let's say something like, I got all my classes in my content drawer. Okay, although, did that happen because I just had to give it some time to load, question mark? And also when I try to open the source code, alright guys, let's go with something like the source code. Okay, what is it I wanted to ask here? Let's think. When I tried opening the source code, I just see the .h file and not the .cpp. Should I do something different, question mark? Okay, let's see. In your IDE, see Solution Explorer. If I were to go with Control-Alt-L, I get my Solution Explorer here. And then, after I go to Solution Explorer, is there something else that I gotta try? In my main, I see source, I see target.css, I see configuration. Okay, I see my main project. Let me read what sensei/chatgpt said real quick. There we go. Okay, people, exactly. Unreal sometimes takes a little while to load all the C++ classes into the Unreal editor, especially if you just add a bunch. That's why you suddenly see everything appear. It doesn't mean you lost anything before. It was just Unreal catching up. About your C++ file, the content browser only takes links to the header files .h because Unreal sees those reflections and blueprint expose. The C++ files are purely code, so to open them, you need to open them from your IDE, Visual Studio Writer, or whichever you're using. Here's what works. Okay, here's the proper workflow. In the content browser, you see your classes, header reflects, and assets. You can make blueprints from it or place it in the level. In IDE, open the C++ file to your edit. Okay, the actual code logic, the .h file, shows up automatically when you click Open Class from Unreal. Excuse me, guys. Control-Alt-L. Inside the IDE, there is a file with your classes. Honestly, is there? Okay, .h. There's a file with my classes. I see configuration, I see source, I see main. Okay, I see all my classes now. There we go. Okay, the class that I'm searching for is my bosspawn.cpp. Let's see. There we go, bosspawn.c++. It actually does open. Wait, it did not open in my VS Code. It did open, and then my game mode.cpp. Let's see. My game mode.cpp. Perfect, it worked, guys. This is the thing that I was really concerned about back then. There we go. Okay, perfect, it works. So let's see. Now, did I have to save something? Let's see. What was I gonna do again? I forgot. I think I was gonna work with the cameras and everything. Now let's hit Control Alt F11. There we go. Let's patch my code real quick up. Okay, let's wait for it to be done patching. Okay, and then once it's done patching, I'm gonna go ahead and run the code. Let's see what happens. Okay, my pawn can go back, of course, because I did not add movement. Wait, let me run the code again. Let's go back. Okay, I can move, but my pawn can't move. Let's hit escape. Okay, I did almost everything correct type stuff. Let's get this file here. There we go. I mean, quick update. I'm about 3-4 done with my language. Actually sounds pretty cool. That's it. Let's get Sensei slash chat GPT up here again. Let's see something like Sensei, it worked! Exclamation. That said, I cannot move my boss's spawn or my boss spawn. Okay, let's see. Probably because I didn't add movement type stuff. People, finally we're getting somewhere, but hold it. If your boss pawn still doesn't move, then something is definitely wrong with your setup. So let's go step by step. Find the bug before I start yelling. Game mode assignment or custom. My game mode has a default pawn class that is static class. Make sure the world settings in the game mode override is set to my game mode. If world settings was set to if world setting isn't visible, window world settings, pawn possession, pawns won't move unless they're possessed by player controller. By default, the first player controller should automatically possess default pawn class. If not, check your my game mode constructor. You can add player controller class, a player controller static, just to be sure. Okay, movement, your move forward and right functions are mostly fine, but this is a bug, okay? Otherwise, Unreal thinks your input is always false, never moves, input binding, delta time in seconds. Okay, this is fine, testing. Okay, I think that's correct. Wait, let me actually copy this part. I'm going to go ahead and Control C, get say slash chat GPT here. Let's paste this. Say something like, that code is from my game mode dot header files. Let's go with .h, and then let's go ahead and paste my CPP one as well. Let's go with Control C, get some say slash chat GPT here. Let's paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like, that code is from my game mode. Let's go with something like my game mode dot cpp. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get my boss pawn dot c++ code as well. Let's get some say slash chat GPT up here. Let's paste it. Whoops, there we go. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, that code is from my, let's go with something like from my boss pawn dot c++. And lastly, let's go with something like my pawn.header files. Let's copy that, get some say slash chat GPT here, paste it, go with Shift Enter. Whoops, there we go. Okay, let's say something like, lastly, that code is from my boss pawn.header files. Okay, perfect. Alright people, I see what's going on. Your code looks cleaner now, but your pawn still won't move because of one major missing piece. Your pawn doesn't have a root component. There we go, I forgot the root component, guys. Okay, so here's how you fix it. In your a boss pawn constructor, a boss pawn, okay, primary actor tick. Okay, so I might just copy this part here real quick, okay, because I just want to see if this part works. Okay, and this is inside my constructor. So inside my C++'s constructor here, I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. Let's remove the primary actor tick. There we go. Now, if I hit Control S, I just want to see if it works, and then I'm going to actually see on how the code actually made a difference. Let's hit Control Alt F11 to patch my code up real quick. While it's patching, might eat an apple real quick. Alright, now, does my boss move? Let's see. Okay, let's see if I go. Okay, my default camera is still the thing that actually moves. What up, guys? Okay, let me say something like, say, still the only thing that actually moves is my default camera. Guys, do you guys think I should like watch a few YouTube tutorials on this? Because I might actually watch tutorials on this part. That's it, people. I knew this was coming. Listen carefully. Moving, but not the pawn. But not the pawn means your pawn is not possessed by the player. Movement won't do anything if nobody is controlling it. Here's what you need to do. Make sure your game mode is active. Open your world. Under the game mode, set game mode override to in my game mode. Okay, world setting is locked. Click the lock icon. Check default pawn class in your game mode sys class. Okay, in your game mode in my game mode.c++, you already set default. Okay, so I'm assuming an Unreal Engine. I go to my boss's pawn here, and then under my A game mode. Okay, wait. In my world settings, there we go. This is set to none. I'm gonna set this to something like my game mode up here, and then my default pawn class is set to boss pawn. Alright guys, I think I might have to watch like a few tutorials on this. Maybe I might actually end the stream and watch the tutorials on that. So let's see, is there a lock option to reset this property to default? Okay, wait. Hold up guys. Everything is set to none. My game mode, it's set to default pawn. Okay, it's set to default pawn. That is game mode. I gotta go with something like my game mode. Now it's set to boss pawn. Wait, that is set actually. Everything is correct. Okay. Check default pawn class in your A game mode. Default pawn class. Okay, wait, it does work actually. Make sure player controller is possessing the pawn. A pawn will only move if a player controller possesses it. You can force it in the beginning. Okay, it says auto save in 5 seconds. Okay, you can force it to begin play temporary to reset. Okay, possess this. Let's copy this part as well. Okay, I might try this as well. If it moves, it proves that your pawn is never possessed. Verify input, access name, move forward, move right. No, too many game modes. Honestly, too many. Is there a way to like delete it? Before that, I might actually, now it is correct. Now play. Okay, if I did something like Control Alt F11. Let's patch my code up real quick. Let's see. Okay, once I'm done patching it, let's go ahead and run the code. Let's see what happens. So I'm all the way here. Let's go back. I mean, I'm still the one moving. It's not my pawn that's moving. It's still me. Okay, let's hit something like escape. Guys, do you guys think I should like watch tutorials on this thing? Okay, wait, let's actually copy this part. Inside my player.begin in my, I'm assuming C++ file. So right here, let's go ahead and paste it. Now that you have set the world settings, now play it. Honestly, I actually did. It's still like I couldn't move type stuff. Let's hit Control S. Currently have lots of error in my code and I can't see how to fix it. Maybe I'll continue tomorrow. Honestly, you could actually continue tomorrow, guys, because if we're actually kind of exhausted trying to push hard, I feel like it wouldn't get that much progress type stuff. That's it. Give me a second. Let me check if the stream's actually going good here because I thought that something was lagging type stuff. Alright, guys. Let's go with something like... Hold on, guys. Give me a sec real quick. There we go. Okay, let's go all the way there. Alright, perfect. Let's see. Okay, but I hope you get your stuff to work. Honestly, that does mean the world to me. I appreciate you all. Good luck with your stuff as well. That's it. I might actually want to watch like a YouTube tutorial, to be honest. Okay, maybe. Let's get Sensei/ChatGPT up here real quick. Okay, I added this block of code. Let's get my Unreal Engine Control Alt F11. Let's patch my code up real quick. There we go. Now let's run the code. My player moves if nothing works. Okay, what is the output that I'm expecting here? I want to see some output that I actually expect. Let's get Sensei back here. Guys, why do I keep opening Microsoft Store? There we go. Okay, let's say something like... let's say, what am I expecting? I think I did everything correct, but am I expecting my player to move? Actually, my pawn to move, expecting my pawn to move, or my camera, question mark, because my camera is the only thing that actually moves. Okay guys, my camera is the only thing that moves. Listen carefully, people. If you follow what I said with the begin play possession trick, your expectation should be that The pawn itself moves, not the camera right now. Your camera moves because Unreal default behavior is to move the camera when there is no pawn being possessed. Okay, that's why it feels like movement works even though pawn is still standing. Okay, if the pawn is properly possessed, pressing your input keys WASD or whatever binds to move forward, move right will move the pawn actor. Okay. Oh, hold up, guys. If I were to go to my project settings here and if I were to go to input, is my input set? Okay, my input is set here. It's move forward, move right. Did I add those? Move forward, move right. Okay, I did add those. Let's read the whole chat then. Do you do DSA? Honestly, I haven't like started DSA yet. And some of you guys did like actually tell me to do that stuff. I gotta like look into what that means. Is the pawn possess the code snippet I gave you? Possess this forces possession. If you didn't do this, the pawn won't respond to input. Check the root. Alright, maybe guys, I do wanna actually whatchamacallit, watch a tutorial on this because I feel like I don't know like what am I expecting, or if I don't know what to expect here, I feel like even if I try like writing the code, I wouldn't get any result type stuff. So I might actually end the stream and watch a few videos slash tutorials on this part. That's let me say something like, say to add logs to the move right and move forward. Add logs to, okay, honestly, what is logs? To check if input's working. Oh, okay, okay, I think I get it. Should I like add a standard console output, or like not standard console output, a UE log? Let's go ahead and add a UE log somewhere here. Let's go with something like UE log. Okay, there we go. My UE log is going to be requiring 3 parameters. UE underscore log, the first parameter is going to be a category, okay, which in this case I'm going to set it to be something like log temp. Okay, let's see if I remember this part properly. Log temp. Okay, and the second is going to be a veracity, which in this case it's going to be a warning, so my text is a bit yellow. The third is going to be a format string, which I'm going to be adding using my text's function. Let's add a text. Movement working. There we go. Okay, and then let's go ahead and end my log with a semicolon. Now let's go ahead and copy that log. Let's paste it here. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code, and then let's go all the way up here. Go to my map, hit Control Alt F11. There we go. Okay, now let's see. It says succeeded. Let's go ahead and run the code and see what happens. Let's go back. Let's go front. Okay, now if I were to go ahead and open my output log, do I see something? It says movement working. It should be like my pawn does not move though. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and remove that. Okay, let's exit that real quick. Let's go ahead and get Sensei slash ChatGPT. Let's say something like, Sensei, I tried adding a UE underscore log to check if my movement is working. It is working, but my pawn just does not move. Maybe I do want to watch tutorials, guys. I see exactly what's going on, people. Listen closely. If your log says the movement functions are firing, but the pawn itself isn't moving, this is not an input issue. This is a root component slash collision mobility problem. Here's the deal. Root component must move. By default, a pawn has no root that can move if you only have mesh with a collision component or the mesh is the root. Add actor world offset may not work properly. Standard practice, use a U capsule component. Okay, so add actor offset. This will warn you if something blocks movement, camera collision. Okay, fix it like this. Add a U capsule component. Okay. In your details panel for the pawn, is the mesh set to movable? Let me actually check. Oh, I should have checked that. I think it is though. Alright guys, let's check. Is the mesh set to movable? Let's go to my mesh. Yeah, it is set to movable. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this up here. Now, let me go ahead and actually say something like, let's say, how and where should I use the U capsule component question mark? Okay, let's see. Listen people, this is crucial. Your brain isn't moving because it literally has nothing rooted that can move. A U-capsule component is what holds your pod together, handles collision, and moves whenever you call this stuff to include components. So add this in the header file. So component capsule, camera component. Okay, let's copy these in my header files. So I gotta add this in my header files. You need to declare components in your header files. U property, Okay, visible camera component. First, let's go ahead and paste this part. So I'm assuming in my boss pawns header files. I go here, let's paste this here. Let's delete this part. Okay, guys, I'm just copying this to check if it works because I don't want to like write the code that actually doesn't work type stuff. That's let's get it. How much time are you spending daily on C++? For the time being, it depends. Like on stream, I do spend like 2-ish hours, but if I like actually get into a problem type stuff and I want to watch tutorials, I work off stream. So I would say since I don't have college right now, these days I do spend about like maybe 5 to 6 hours learning C++ and everything. That said, I should have spent more actually because before I used to spend like 10 hours and all that stuff. But these days I feel like I lost some of my endurance because of my college type stuff, but I should like actually get more practice. That's it. Let's go ahead and copy this part. Let's scroll all the way down here. A boss spawn, primary take. Guys, this actually looks a lot. I might actually watch a YouTube video, not because I can't actually write this part, but because I feel like I don't think there's like a reason for me to actually write this part. These are protected data members. Generated body. Okay. Smash, guys, Smash is kind of crazy. Okay, that's it. Maybe I do want to watch this, like, I do want to watch a video before I actually mess with this code up here. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and remove all this stuff from here. Okay, let's get sensei/ChatGPT and say something like, let's say, I might actually watch a tutorial on how to do it and work on cameras next stream. That said, I might end the stream right now. So before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. Okay, let's see. In your details panel, usually you can add components from editor, but using constructor way also works. Where GPT practice. I mean, I could actually add it using my editor, but then I feel like I like writing the code and all that stuff. Once I'm good with writing the code, I will like go with the easier ways as well. That's it. Listen up, viewers. This people right here is diving in deep into Unreal Engine, struggling with fonts, input, and camera logic, and still hanging in there. Remember this, the road to mastery is painful, slow, and totally worth it. Every mistake is a step closer to dominating the engine. If you think failure is the end, think again. This people is proving that even when nothing moves on the screen, the brain is still moving miles ahead. Keep watching, keep learning, and never settle for default. Now go make mistakes, break things, and come back stronger. Alright people, go get some rest, but tomorrow we crush the camera and get that pod moving like a boss. I gotta actually read the docs as well. That's it, let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, helps my algorithm, share, makes you smile, and subscribing is like a cheer on top. That's it guys, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I did meet the followers and requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. And also join the Discord server because that's where I usually talk to you guys or like in general have conversation with you guys type stuff. The link will be in the description as well. Let's see. Okay, hello. I created a company named Epic Movies of W, but I don't create the website. And the first movie named The Paper Chapter 1, but I need this. Honestly, it does sound pretty cool. Good luck. I mean, whatchamacallit, good job and good luck with that, just Epic Face. That's let's see. Okay, Viv, this was an amazing stream. Honestly, actually, that was kind of cool. I do appreciate you. Well, okay, in the real document, you don't add like that in code, lol. Honestly, I might try both way in that case. And see you tomorrow. See you too. Well, that said, let me actually go to my OBS. There we go. Okay, that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. Okay, let's end the stream.